Row number 3 to the inside out of Whitehall.
What up, everybody? We are listening to the Short Track Super Nationals event.
The 26B car, that's Matty Brodell. Row 4 inside out of Harrisville, and the 76 is Grayson Soper. And the 8th starting spot out of Boston Spa, New York, will be the 44J of Adam Trenka. Final starting spot out of Cobleskill, New York, and the 92C is Lance Hill. Heat number 1, as will heat number 2, 9 cars in both events, 6 laps. Everybody will be going to the Fastline Performance Limited Sportsman feature. So first of 2 heat races for the Fastline Performance Limited Sportsman. Terry Falter, Avery Decker. Bring us to green. We're off and running. 3 wide in the middle of the pack down the straightaway. The 22A and Avery Decker will grab the early lead. And we've got 2 by 3.
Ready?
Wide
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2.
Brodell sailing it in on the top side. Everybody tucked around the bottom, and Brodell going to drive around 4 cars or so that lap. She's up back into the 92. Some Lance Hill, who started last, is now to 3rd. How about that? Brodell found the outside lane open, going from 6th to 2nd, and Hill from 9th to 3rd. 3-car battle now for position number 4 right now, with the 16 of Terry Falter holding the position. Out front, your outside pole sitter, the 2A of Avery Decker, has a 1.9-second advantage back to Matty Brodell. Lance Hill in 3rd, and then a 4-car battle here. There's going to be a 3-car battle for the 4th spot. The 76 of Grayson Soper has it, with 2 cars hot on his heels here with Trenka and Terry Falter. Yeah, good action heading out of turn number 4 now for that 4th spot. Down the straightaway, 44 continues to move in. Adam Trenka, he started in 8th position. Trenka now putting the pressure on the 16 of Falter down the back straightaway, followed by the 16 of Terry Falter into the turn. Grayson Soper in the 76 in the mix as well. Top 5 go to the redraw out of each of our 2 limited sportsman heat races. Top 5 will go to the redraw, so Soper and Trenka have those spots now. Terry Falter trying to get back into one, but he's got a little bit of work to do now as that duo starts to pull away from him. Barrett's Performance, white flag. Brodell's catching Avery Decker. Yeah, Matty Brodell closing quickly, heading into the turn. Will run out of laps. Maybe she's closing in now, heading down the back straightaway. Avery Decker's got the lead by about 5-car length here on the final lap. Trying to reverse announcer jinx Jeff maybe off of turn number 4. Checkered flag will fall. She will not get there. It will be Avery Decker picking up the heat race win. Matty Brodell gets 2nd. Lance Hill 3rd. Off of the corner, Adam Trenka will get the 4th spot, and Grayson Soper hangs on for that final redraw spot. So heat race number 1 for the Fastline Performance Limited Sportsman in the record books for 22A. Avery Decker with the win, charging from deep in the pack for 2nd. The 26B, Matty Brodell. 3rd, the 92C from last, Lance Hill. 4th, the 44. That is 44J of Adam Trenka. And the final redraw spot, position 5, goes to the 76 of Grayson Soper. So again, everybody goes to the feature. The top 5 go to the redraw. Heat 2 will go to the post this way. Pole position out of Walton, New York, the 12 is Ethan Coons. Alongside of him out of Harpersville, New York, driving number 79 car, that's Eric Windsor. Starting from the 2nd row inside from East Greenbush, New York, the 21 is Destry Scribner. Rolling off 4th, she's out of Fulton, New York, the 98S, that's Savannah Simmons. 3rd row on the inside out of Middleburg, and the 13J, Jim Malia. And going from the 6th starting spot out of Kirkwood, New York, the 71 car, Jason Shedd. 4th row inside from Edmiston, driving the 57 is Eric Jensen. Rolling off 8th, another Harpersville, New York native, the 78 car, Stephen Windsor. Final starting spot out of St. Johnsville, the 1B, Jeff Bubblein. You know where Harpersville is, right? So southern tier. It's one exit before after. That makes sense as to why they race it after. Yes, there you go. On Interstate 88. number 2. Set the field for tonight's Manslime Performance Limited Sportsman feature. We're ready to go. Second and final qualifier for the Manslime Performance Limited Sportsman in the matinee portion of our short track Super Nationals here at Utica Road Speedway, the working man's race. We're back to green, heat 2. Aiden Coons will lead the way into the turn. One car sweeping to the outside. Jason Shedd gaining a few spots up to third down the backstretch.
Oh, two get together there on the back straightaway. The 78 of Windsor, the 21 of Scribner. Both keep it going. We will continue on. Aiden Coons setting the pace. Jason Shedd up into the runner-up spot, but he's got all kinds of company. A long jam of cars here from second on back.
Working out of the corner. Here comes Jensen in the 57, working on the outside of Malia down the back. We got one around the top of turn number 2. This will bring out a yellow. One lap is in the record books.
It's the 21 of Destry Scribner, the car around on the outside of turns 1 and 2.
Out of East Greenbush, looks like Destry will get turned around and be able to rejoin. Again, everybody qualifies 5 to the redraw. Right now, leading the way is Aiden Coons in the 12. Looks like we got him doubled up. We're going to go right back to green. Ready now. 71 from 6th to 2nd. Jason Shedd is in position number 2. Here they come.
Take it out.
In the 1 and 2 they go. Shedd holding firm with Coons on entry into the corner. Aiden Coons, though, gets the run, digs off the bottom. He holds the lead. Jeff Bobbelin, meanwhile, marching through the field. He started back in 9th. He's up into a redraw spot now, looking for more.
Yeah, Bobbelin working his way through the field. Inside the 79 of Windsor down the straightaway. Bobbelin makes the move down low, grabbing for it. Windsor's in the hot seat. Jensen, who was making hay early, losing a couple of spots on the restart. We got a spinner on the backstretch. Does a backwards 360 and keeps going.
And we stay green. The 78 of Steven Windsor kept it rolling, so we continue on. And now the 57 of Eric Jensen trying to take advantage. Jensen and the 79 of Eric Windsor going at it for the 5th spot. That's the final redraw spot. Jensen's around the 79. He's got it.
Yeah, Jensen now moved back into a qualifying spot. Redraw spot, I should say. 2 laps to go here for your leader, Aiden Coons. Coons setting the pace. 2nd spot remains Shedd. 3rd spot is still Malia in the 13.
12 of Aiden Coons is a good hot rod, which we've come to expect here at Utica Rome. It's really come on in the second half of the season. He will work off a 4 to the Barrett's Performance Warehouse, white flag, 1 more trip around. 2nd through 5th is a battle, but they are all in redraw spots regardless, as long as they hang on to those spots. The 79 of Eric Windsor has got a lot of work to do to catch him. Coons into 3 for the final time.
Yeah, Bobbelin down the back straightaway, putting some pressure now on the 13 of Malia. Meanwhile, up front, taking the checker by a comfortable margin, Aiden Coons will take the Sunoco checker. Runner up, we got one going over the embankment down here in the corner. And Jensen still battling Windsor to the wire.
Yeah, Jensen was the car that got over the embankment. Shedd got 2nd, Malia 3rd, Bobbelin 4th, and Jensen, despite the off-track excursion on the final lap, held on to that 5th and final redraw spot. When he got up and over the bank, was kicking up dust, but kept his foot in it, and the car motored off the floor back onto the racetrack, and he held on to that final
hit
redraw
marker.
spot, but
A hit marker.
certainly made it a little bit harder for himself than it needed to be.
So the 12 of Aiden Coons wins, 71 of Jason Shedd 2nd. The 13, Jay of Jim Malia gets 3rd. The 1B, Jeff Bobbelin 4th, and the 57 of Eric Jensen is 5th. They will go to the redraw. So that completes our limited sportsman qualifying.
We have the edge, but don't get cocky. This shit ain't over. Hostile Pepper, Bravo. RCXD active.
As Valley Vintage Sportsman rolling out. The 76 of Grayson Soper made the redraw of heat number 1, disqualified at the tech area for an illegal rev box. Sportsman out on the racetrack, their 15-lap feature for the Mohawk Valley Vintage Antiques. Pole position at a global skill will be the number 1 of Don Briggs, and alongside of him, driving in a Ransomville, New York, will be the 11 car. That's Jim Ortiz. Third starting spot out of Kingston, Ontario, the number 40 of Tim Hegarty. And alongside of him at Seneca Falls will be the 9 of Ed Lawrence. Rolling off 5th.
Lay down.
Pena, New York, the 7X of Craig Chisholm. And alongside of him, driving out of Bradford, Pennsylvania, the 20 car of Steve Longo. 7th starting spot out of Perth, New York, the 124, John Constantino, and alongside of him at a Gallup,
lay down.
The 78M of Greg
Go lay down.
Jr. 9th starter, the 111, Merv Blackwell out of Fort Ann. 10th, the 00, Adam Dahl out of Red Creek. 11th, John Trudeau out of Hague, New York. In the number 7, and the 34 of Gary Reynolds out of Bearsville, New York. Bearsville, New York. Is your final starter. Green flag is out. The Mohawk Valley Vintage Sportsman are green. We got one over the bank off at 2. He keeps it going. We will continue on. We are underway here. Our 15-lap Mohawk Valley Vintage Sportsman feature is green. Working down the straightaway for lap number 1, charging into the turn, Jim Ortiz. Quickly pulling out to the lead. Don Briggs running in the number 2 spot, under pressure right now as they work down the back straightaway. Here comes the 78M of Greg Perron Jr. trying to gain a few positions. Yeah, battle for that runner-up spot on the right side of your screen. The 40 of Tim Hegarty trying to get a run here to the inside of Briggs. Briggs trying to keep it down on the bottom. Hegarty's there. They'll both drift up the racetrack, but Hegarty now has the bottom groove, left side of your screen. Action going on here from about 6th and back or so, but Hegarty trying to make the move for second. Yeah, good battle going on over there in the corner, side by side out of turn number 4. Still wheeling and dealing down the straightaway. The 40 of Hegarty still battling it out into the turn with a 1 of Briggs. Briggs up on the outside lane will continue to have the advantage. Yeah, Briggs might have just found something there off the outside of 2. Got a really good run. Motored away from Hegarty. Now he'll keep it up there to try and run down your leader, Jim Ortiz. As we continue to put laps away. 4 complete our 15-lap Sportsman feature for the Mohawk Valley Vintage Dirt Modified Series. It's Ortiz, Briggs, and Hegarty, your top 3. Then a bit of a gap back to 4th, 5th, and 6th. Yeah, behind that gap then produces some really good racing again as well. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are fairly well grouped together, all battling for positions, trying to advance up through the top 10 to go after that 5th position. Yeah, you have the 7X there. Craig Chisholm leading that battle on your screen, but car sweeping to his outside, the 00 of Adam Dahl. That's the second car we've seen. If you can hit the top right down in 1 and 2, there is moisture and bite, and Adam Dahl really throwing caution to the wind in the 00. He has found something, Jeff. The 00 of Dahl is on the move now. Yeah, he is working into the first turn now. Dahl is on the outside. Oh, the car he's trying to pass drifts over. Blocks him off. He'll have to get another run down here in 3 and 4. The battle for second continues, and that battle with Dahl is for position number 5. Yeah, that's the 9 of Ed Lawrence. Dahl is duking it out with. Now he'll try and cross him over, go to the bottom down the front straightaway. He will make the move, and Adam Dahl is now into the top 5, but he slides up, gets sideways, and around he goes. Lawrence just gave him a tap in the left rear to send him around. Send him the rest of the way around, I should say, because he was already pitched well sideways into 1 and 2. He'd been running the top really well. And then he went to the bottom, tried to cross over on Ed Lawrence and got him. But then got 2 sideways down in 1 and 2, trying to slide back up to the top, and around he went. Caution is out. We've got 7 laps completed. And we've got an Instagram performance replay for those watching at home. Oh, yeah. He switched lanes.
He had been running the outside. He switched lanes. He had the back end brake loose. Ed Lawrence had no place to go. Made a little bit of contact, but he was already spinning before that contact was made. And Adam Dahl, after that great run from 10th position up to the 5th spot, will have to rejoin at the back and start over again. Well, at least he knows he's got speed in the race car. He's going to try and keep it under him. Keep rolling that outside groove. As you said, 7 laps complete, 8 laps to go. Lights are out. We're going to get them back under fire here this time by. It's still Jim Ortiz setting the pace.
Hardpoint is secure.
And number 11 car started on the outside of the front row and has led all 7 thus far. Don Briggs up alongside of him. Tim Hegarty and the 20 of Steve Longo in row number 2. Green flag, we're back underway. Working down the back straightaway. Ortiz continues with the lead, but now the battle for second is on once again. Yeah, this time it's the 20 of Steve Longo getting into the picture. He got around Hegarty on the restart for third, and now in the back bumper of Don Briggs here for the runner-up spot. The 20 trying to find some speed here. He's working up in that outside groove. I think that's where you want to be if your car's handling right. And Adam Dahl is right back up there alongside the 78M of Greg Parent. Yeah, Dahl's gone back to the outside where he was making all of his hay earlier in this race. He is kicking up a rooster tail and gaining spots. He's gone by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars already. He's halfway through the field. He's trying to get another one now. Meanwhile, down the back straightaway, the 1 of Don Briggs and the 20 Steve Longo are locked in a battle for second.
We're not supposed to root for guys, Jeff, but that Adam Dahl is the star of the show right now. I want to talk to him later. He's got that thing whipping up around the top side. He'll pull up alongside another one.
Wow,
the number 7 of John Trudeau. Trudeau trying to fight back on the bottom. Dahl up on that top side. Will get a good run, and now he'll zero in on the 40 of Hegarty. And a battle for second. Still, Longo will not give up on Don Briggs.
He looks like Stuart Treese coming through the field right now, working on the high line down there in the corner. Here's the battle for second, continuing down the front. Don Briggs, Steve Longo. Right behind them, all by his lonesome, Tim Hegarty. Hegarty soon going to feel some pressure now from the 00 of Adam Dahl.
Longo trying to go to the top down in 1 and 2. Got a run. Briggs nearly pitched him off for that runner-up spot. Well, meanwhile, Jip Ortiz and that number 11 is driving away from the rest of the field. He's got almost a half a straightaway back to this battle for second. Longo will drive it in a little bit.
Start, lay down.
Time into the outside of 1 and 2.
Yeah, look at that
Ready?
battle.
1,
Out of the corner.
2,
Longo
1,
is gonna
2.
make the move
Ready?
and
1,
grab
2,
the second
1,
spot.
2,
Now
1,
it's
2,
Long.
1, 2.
That 111 of Merv Blackwell pulls off the track, will stay green. This time by, 2 to go.
Longo made the pass here for the runner-up spot. 2 laps to go for your leader, Jim Ortiz. Adam Dahl, meanwhile, not done yet. He will go to the outside of Hegarty. He will make the pass for 4th. The 00 is on rails right now, but your leader will come to the Barron's Performance Warehouse white flag. Yeah, Jim Ortiz.
He's probably going to kick himself afterwards. Why did I change to the bottom for that one lap? All the cars he's passed the field at least once and at 1.5 times. He probably would have been up front. But meanwhile, Jim Ortiz will lead the way here on the final lap, looking for the Sunoco checkers.
Working out a 4 checker flag will fall. The excitement behind him was nothing for Ortiz. He leads all 15 laps for the win. Longo gets second. Briggs, Dahl, and Hegarty, your top 5. I think that we should maybe start running the Mohawk Valley Vintage Dirt Modified Series in the daytime more often. 2 really good races from the vintage cars. The 11, this time of Jip Ortiz gets the win. Wasn't a great race for the lead. He had everybody covered, but Steve Longo and Don Briggs put on a great battle for the runner-up spot. Longo got it. 1 of Don Briggs ends up 3rd. The 00 of Adam Dahl, his charge to the front, fall to the back, charge to the front again. Sees him get fourth in the 00, and the 40 of Tim Hegarty rounds out the top five. And we will take another quick break here from Vintage Action for the Fonda Fair 4 cylinders to roll out onto the racetrack. We've got 16 today, so 2 heat races. Heat 1 of 2. Again, these will be 6-lap events. I believe these are going to start heads up from the heat race finishes. Pole position out of Esperance, New York, the 47 will be Bruce Little. And alongside of him, out of Rome, New York, driving the 21V, that's Corey Valade. Second row inside of Edmiston, driving the 17R is Joseph Buck. And alongside of him out of Rotterdam, New York, the 223 is Josh Beals. Third row inside from Waterville at the 31, that's Jeff Connolly. And rolling off 6th out of Johnstown, New York, will be the 29 of Dale Van Allen. Row number 4 on the inside from Pattersonville, the 212 will be TJ Marlin. And your final starter, he's out of Boonville, New York, driving the number 22 car is Dan Valade. 8 cars, 6 laps, everybody qualifies. Heads up start for the feature, which means the way they finish the heats is the way they will start the feature. So the 2 heat winners will be in the front row, the 2 second place cars will be in the second row, etc., all the way back through the starting rotation. The Fonda Fair 4 cylinders, first of 2 qualifying heats. Here we go.
Hardpoint is secure.
Perfect start here for heat race number 1, right up to the Sunoco start point. And away they go. And Corey Valade off the outside of the front row. Corey Valade will race out to the early advantage. Bruce Little will follow him in second. And Joseph Bouk leads a 4-car battle for the 3rd spot into turn number 3. 223 of Josh Beals. Remember, he had problems in hot laps. They persist. And he wants to bring out a yellow. And he'll stop at the inside of turn number 3. And the yellow lights will come on.
Finish line's in sight. Don't let up.
So the 223 of Josh Beals with problems. Again, he had them in Penske Racing Shop's hot laps, and they persist here in the heat race. So he'll get pushed off. Joe Chris will display the white flag. We will go right back to green next time by. Again, 6 laps in distance. We did complete lap number 1. Looks like your leader, the 21V of Valade, choosing the outside group. You know, 4 cylinders oftentimes run on smaller tracks, but these guys really run really good here on the bigger track at Utica. Yeah, they love to get around the top side and just kind of let their momentum carry them all the way around. Corey Valade fires first in the Sunoco start zone. Green flag is out. 6 laps the distance for our Fonda Fair 4-cylinder heat races. 3-car battle developing now for position number 3 as they work down the backstretch. Charging into the corner. Side-by-side action. 29 of Dale Van Allen now trying to hold on to 3rd spot. Yeah, he's got all kinds of company, though. Dan Valade all over the back bumper of the 29. Now Van Allen will go to the bottom down here in 1 and 2. And Dan Valade will roll around the top side. And Valade will wrestle that 3rd spot away. Van Allen back to 4th. And he's got the 17R of Joseph Bouk right on his back bumper now. Dan Valade started last. He started back in 8th position. He's up to 3rd now. Charging down the front straightaway, trying to catch Bruce Little. Little started second, actually started first, is running second right now as they head down on the back straightaway again. As many spots as you can gain is where you will be starting from tonight's feature race. Yeah, wherever you finish, basically, that's where you will start on the inside row. So finish fourth, you'll start fourth in the inside row come feature time. 2 laps to go for your Fonda Fair 4 cylinders. 4 down, 2 to go. Bout trying to get by Van Allen here for that 4th spot. Van Allen, though, as I said, Jeff, you get up in that outside, you have the momentum. And Van Allen just trying to keep the momentum up, but they make contact there off of 2, and Bout will wrestle the spot away.
Yeah, he was trying to work the inside lane, but suddenly the inside lane got very dangerously close to the inside equipment tires over there. Now they'll trade lanes out of turn number 4. Whoa, almost into the wall this time is Bout, and that will allow Van Allen to motor by and regain the position.
The 212 of TJ Marlitt has joined the picture. Bounce out of it. He's got problems. We will come to the checkered, though. It will be the 21V of Corey Valade picking up the win in heat race number 1 for the 4 cylinders. Bruce Little holds on to second over Dan Valade. Valade will get third. Fourth will go to Dale Van Allen. And TJ Marlitt rounds out the top 5. But Corey Valade picks up the win here in heat race number 1.
Fonda Fair 4 cylinders qualifying heat race number 1 into the record books. Corey Valade, the 21V, the 47 of Bruce Little, the 22 of Dan Valade, the 29S, 29 of Dale Van Allen, the 212 of TJ Marlitt. All right, here's the heat. Second heat race now for the Fonda Fair 4 cylinders pole position out of Amsterdam. The 3 is John Napoli.
Alongside of him, out of Utica, New York, the 736 is Matt Bakoven.
Second row out of Amsterdam, the 54 is Wayne Russell Jr.
Going from the 4th position, he's out of Schoharie, New York. The K1 is Billy Bob Liberator.
Row number 3 inside out of Fulton, the 0 is Jason Peck.
And going from the 6th starting spot, your dual cam Fonda champion, the 97J, is Jay Ingersoll.
4th row inside out of West Winfells. In the 13 is Kyle Simmons.
And the final starting spot out of Brookfield, New York, will be the 9 car of Cameron Kraus.
8 cars again, 6 laps. Everybody qualifies, heads up start for the feature. So whoever wins this one will have outside pole starting spot in tonight's 4-cylinder feature, which will be part of the nighttime program a little bit later on. Busy day. We had 123 cars here last night for day 1. We'll see how many we end up with here today, with a huge turnout here for the afternoon portion. And we got the nighttime portion coming up a little bit later on today on a beautiful day. We had that ugly weather midweek here, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Blew out of here in time to get Short Track Super National Weekend into the record books. And the 24 season finale here at Utica Rome. John Napoli and Matt Bakoven battle into the turn for the number 1 spot, but they're going to get some company here real quick.
Got Jay Ingersoll fast again, but Bakoven gets a really good run off the outside of 2. He'll motor around Napoli. He will take the lead. Napoli to 2nd, Ingersoll 3rd, and off the corner, the 0 of Jason Peck right there in the picture as well.
Yeah, we got it was a 4-car battle. Got now a 3-car battle for 2nd spot heading down the back straightaway. Working the high side down the back stretch. Looking for positions. Lap number 2 coming to you.
2 laps in the books. Napoli starting to lose ground. The 3 has fallen off the pace a little bit, it looks like. Matt Bakoven out in front. Jay Ingersoll into the runner-up spot. The 0 of Jason Peck is 3rd. Napoli back to 4th. And the 9 of Cameron Kraus, who started last, is up now into the 5th spot as we come to the halfway point.
Matt Bakoven continuing to lead the way. Off the corner with a comfortable advantage right now. Down the chute. Jason Peck right there in the mix, trying to make a move for position number 2.
Yeah, Peck in that 0 car starting to close in here on Jay Ingersoll. Battle for the runner-up spot into 3. Ingersoll and Peck right through the middle groove down there in 3 and 4. But
We've got just 2 laps to go here in heat race number 2 for the Honda Fair 4-cylinders. Final heat race of our matinee. Couple of features up next for the vintage cars. We'll round out the afternoon program. Cameron Krause on the back bumper of Napoli here for 4th. Yeah, 2-car battle for 2nd, 2-car battle for 4th, charging into the turn. While McCoven continuing to lead the way, the Bears Performance Warehouse white flag waves 1 to go.
Securing zone A.
White flag is out. Double box of pair of battles. Cameron Krause gotten by Napoli for the 4th spot. On the right side of your screen, you see the lead trio. McCoven has led the whole way, hasn't pulled away though. Peck up to the back bumper of Ingersoll. They'll go into 3 and 4 here for the final time.
We've given up the lead.
Out of the corner. Peck will not get to Ingersoll. It'll be McCoven getting the win. Ingersoll 2nd, Jason Peck 3rd. Then Cameron Krause and John Napoli, your top 5. So some fast cars there in heat race number 2 for the Honda Fair 4-cylinders. Matt McCoven, the fastest of them all.
He should have died.
Heat race number 2, the 97 Jay Ingersoll gets 2nd. The 0 of Jason Peck 3rd. The 9 of Cameron Krause gets 4th. And the 3 of John Napoli hangs on for a top 5. But again, they will be the outside row for our feature for the Honda Fair 4-cylinders coming up a little bit later. Rolling out onto the speedway now, your Mohawk Valley Vintage Modifieds and Late Models. 8 Modifieds, 4 Late Models signed in for their 15-lap feature event. Here's the way they will line up. Pole position out of Middleburg, New York will be the 96 of Andy Graves, and alongside of him, how about this, driving out of Kingsbury, New York, the number 30 of Jim Mahaney. 3rd starting spot out of Brewerton, New York, the 9 of Joe August Jr., and alongside of him, out of Hardwick, New York, the 57 of Pete Nowicki. Rolling off 5th, driving out of Waterloo, the crazy 8 car, that's Tom Fletcher, and alongside of him out of Canajoharie, the 22 of Anthony Cardamone. 7th among the modifieds, driving out of Oak Hill, New York, the 8 of Darrell Hulbert, and alongside of him, final starter, out of Fultonville, New York, the number 20 of Eric Gifford. Gifford had the problems in hot laps. He will not answer the call. Your late models, pole position, the 91 of Chris Pedro. He's out of St. Johnsville. Alongside of him, out of Middleburg, the 28, John Rose. 3rd starter out of Stamford, New York, the 9 of Will Reed. And the final starter, the 03 of Dennis Joslin. He's out of Central Bridge, New York. Andy Graves and Jim Mahaney will bring your Mohawk Valley Vintage Modifieds to green, and away we go. Andy Graves, he's a busy driver this weekend. He was racing in the Pro Stocks last night, heading down the
this
straightaway
fucked.
now, charging into the turn. Graves and Mahaney. Jim Mahaney, what a veteran he was in the days of the Outlaw Circuit down the straightaway. Mahaney driving car number 30, being challenged now by Joe August Jr. Got Joe August trying to make that bottom side work. Mahaney, though, will get away from him a little bit down in 1 and 2. And August now has company pulling up to his outside.
Can't do jack.
Double box you see on the
Really
left side.
sucking
Your late
spawn.
model leader, the 9 of Will Reed. And a battle for 3rd for the modifieds on the right side of your screen. Yeah, down the straightaway, here comes the 57 of Pete Nowicki. That's that Paul Jensen lookalike car. Another member of the Outlaw Circuit back in the day down the back straightaway. Nowicki in the 57 now has picked up position number 3. He'll try to track down Jim Mahaney. Mahaney holding on.
We're literally stuck
now.
in our
August
fucking
in danger
spot.
of losing the 4th spot. Anthony Cardamone going to the inside of the 9. August, though, keeping it rolling around the top. He'll keep Anthony Cardamone at
Yeah, we're literally
now.
stuck in fucking our
Graves,
spawn.
meanwhile, out in front of this one, Jeff, if you remember last night in the Pro Stock feature, Graves led all the way until 2 laps to go before A.J. Walters got by him. Right now, though, nobody close enough to offer any kind of challenge to the 96. Yeah, but we got a challenge developing here for 2nd spot. Here comes Nowicki, closing the gap on Mahaney. And further back, we got Cardamone in that Dave Lake lookalike 22. Cardamone himself from Canajoharie. Down the back straightaway, 2-car battle behind them for position. We've got action all around the racetrack right now. Yeah, the Crazy 8 of Tom Fletcher trying to get by. Tom Fletcher in the Mike McLaughlin tribute Crazy 8 car. They battle side by side there for what is 6th and 7th. As it's Graves.
Whoa, no, big flip here on the back straightaway.
The 91 of Chris Pedro and the 57 of Pete Nowicki got together. And the 91 got turned sideways into the wall and up and over multiple times.
Losing A.
I was just about to say this is the third consecutive feature that we have had some outstanding racing here from the Mohawk Valley Vintage Club, and now we have this unfortunate tangle on the back. They were racing hard for position, but got pinched into the guardrail on the back straightaway.
Losing A.
Objective capture in progress.
Zone B secure. We're losing Alpha. We've lost Alpha.
Safety team there will give you the report as soon as we get the report. Sometimes it takes a couple minutes for the driver to regain their composure after going up for a little bit of a spill on the back straightaway. The two got hooked together after the one car got pinched into the guardrail and got turned sideways, dug in and rolled over a couple times.
I'm on it.
Securing Alpha. We're losing Charlie.
Frank!
We're literally stuck. We can't do jack. I literally love this game,
on
COD.
the back straightaway, Chris Pedro is climbing out of the car under his own power. As Jeff said, I think just took him a minute to
You really made a
take
good
a
fucking
breath.
game.
Taking C.
gather himself, but he's climbing out of the car. Just gave one of our EMTs a hug, so he is good.
Got contact.
You hear that, COD? You made a great fucking game.
And we've got a couple of replays there. You see Pedro, he was up in the air end over end.
This game fucking sucks ass.
Didn't see the beginning of it, but he was trying to, the 57 of Nowicki was trying to go around him on the outside, and Pedro was coming up. And they got together, and Pedro got turned nose first into the backstretch wall, and then the left side of the car dug in, and he went for a ride. Well, the car landed on all four wheels, and the car did its job. Again, he's okay, able to climb out under his own power. And they've got him, I believe, in the safety vehicle. They'll take him back to the pit area. While the tractor,
Yeah, we're literally spawn stuck.
remnants of the 91
Alright, we
pickup.
have been all fucking game.
But again, everything worked as it should.
Of course, they walked all over us. We're fucking
Pedro able
spawn
to
stuck.
walk away from that relatively unharmed anyway. For those of you at home watching on Flow Racing, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back to resumption, the modifieds and late models, the Mohawk Valley Vintage Dirt Modifieds.
Let's hope this game goes smoother.
Hardcore team deathmatch. Destroy the enemy. We've taken control.
Ain't no way you fucking hit that like that.
Welcome back. Those of
You hit that
watching
already.
on Flow Racing, night number 2 of the Short Track Super Nationals here at Utica Rome Speedway. Track crew
No
has
way
things
you
cleaned
know
up on
that.
the back straightaway after the wreck involving the 91 of Chris Pedro. But again, he able to climb out of the car under his own power. And we are just about set to resume. Get the lineup squared away.
Enemy grenade.
We will continue the 96 of Andy Graves, your leader for the modifieds here, 6 laps in. 1 15-lap feature to go after this. In our afternoon program, the 15-lap Mystique feature will round out our afternoon program. We'll head down for a quick victory lane with all of our Mohawk Valley Vintage Antique winners. Vintage Dirt Modified Series winners, I should say, including our Antique winner, our Modified Late Model, Mystique, and Sportsman.
From where?
Alright, lights are out. We're going to go back to it. Your leader, the 96 of Andy Green, choosing the outside.
I died.
Green flag. We are back underway. Into the turn. Graves has the lead. Mahaney gets a shot at him here on the restart down the back straightaway. Right now, Graves has about a 5-car length advantage as they head down the back straightaway. Graves up high, Mahaney down low. Yeah, Graves going all the way to the top. Mahaney trying to dig off the bottom, but the 96 rolling away, starting to pull away right now. The 9 of Joe August, Jeff, early on in the run before the red was walking forward, then fell back a little bit. Now moving back forward again. The 9 good on these restarts in the short runs, trying to hold off Anthony Cardamone right now for third. Into the turn, here comes the 22, Cardamone to the outside. He's up there where our leader is. Our leader Graves running the outside, Cardamone on the outside, while Mahaney and August are running on the bottom. 3-car battle now for position 2. And you had just had it on the left side of your screen. The late model lead had changed hands.
I'm never going to get this gun done.
Now has it over the 9 of Will Reed, but the battle is too good here for the runner-up spot.
Never going to get this fucking gun done.
Mahaney has it. He's got all kinds of company. Anthony Cardamone now has gotten around Joe August and is on the back bumper of Jim Mahaney. This for second. Again, Andy Graves has about 12 car lengths back to this battle. Yeah, Mahaney had kept it a little close there with Graves following the restart, but Graves continues to work the top and continues to pull away. Mahaney now dealing with the battle to hold on to second, battling it out now with Cardamone down the front. 2 to go. Andy Graves continuing to set the pace. Jim Mahaney is second. Anthony Cardamone third. Joe August is fourth. Your late model leader continues to be the 28 of John Rose. Will Reed, though, right on his back bumper. 5 laps to go this time by. 10 in the books. 5 to go. The 8 of Darrell Hulbert is under fire for the 5th spot from Tom Fletcher and Pete Nowicki. Yeah, that's a good 3-car duel now. The battle for second has quieted down. Mahaney holding on to second, holding off the challenges from Cardamone, who's now in third, and the 9-car of August remains in fourth. They have pulled away from the rest of the pack inside the final 5 laps. Yeah, we are inside of 5 laps to go, and things have cooled off for the modifieds.
I'm automatically dead before I do shit.
Within just a couple of car lengths of each other. This for the late model lead. Reed about 2 car lengths. Rose gets a good run off with 2. Pulls another car length on the 9. Now Reed will pull right back to his back bumper into 3. And good action out of turn number 4 here. Running the modifieds and late models together. That is the late model battle right now. Down the front, Rose in the 28 and Will Reed in the 9. Will now go side by side into turn 2. We'll get the 2-lap sign here for your leader, Andy Graves.
Yeah, your modified leader, Andy Graves, gets the 2-to-go sign. He's out in front. Reed and Rose are working to the 2-to-go sign this time by. Rose in that outside group continuing to keep the 9 of Will Reed at bay. They get the 2-to-go sign. Graves will get the Barron's Performance Warehouse white flag.
Final lap here in our modified late model co-feature down the back straightaway. Andy Graves has the lead. Last night came up a couple laps short of the Pro Stock win. No doubt about this one as he heads down the back the final time, looking for the vintage win this time.
Checkered black will follow your Mohawk Valley Vintage.
I was shooting
you.
you.
96 of Andy Graves. Jim Mahaney will get second. Anthony Cardamone the top 3. Will Rose and John Rose, Will Reed and John Rose continue to battle it out for the late model win. They'll go into turn number 3. Reed enters in the middle. Rose in that preferred groove up on the top side off the corner. John Rose will hold off Will Reed. He'll get the late model win.
Blues Racing down to the finish here in our third vintage main event of the afternoon. Andy Graves takes the modified win in the 96, and Joe Rose in the 28 takes the late model victory.
One more feature to go in this afternoon portion of day number 2 of the Short Track Super Nationals here at Utica Rome. The Mystiques will get set to roll out onto the racetrack. They will line up this way. Pole position out of Avoca, New York will be the number 4 car of Jeff Mitchell, and alongside of him, driving out of Amenia, New York, the 78 is Jay Haviland. Third starting spot. Third starting spot of Romulus, New York, the 76 car of Ray Preston. And alongside of him out of Willow, New York, the 21B is Harry Baldwin. Going from the 5th starting spot of the Lower Rotterdam Junction, the 49 car, that's Dan Carl. And alongside of him, driving out of Kerhonkson, New York, the Flying M is Kevin Montaigne. Final row inside out of Johnstown, the 44B is Joe Rando. And the final starting spot out of Willow, New York, the number 24 car is Tom LeBar. That's the way your Mohawk Valley Vintage Mystique feature will go to green. One car, Rando, needing help off of the staging lane, so we're going to take one extra lap here as Rando gets caught up to the tail of the field before we go green. Final 15 laps of the afternoon. Track crew going to come out, work the track in a little bit before, again, we get set for this evening's program. The Short Track
I
Super
cannot
Series
get
modified
the shot
will
off
take the
in
center
time.
stage. A full program for them. No time trials tonight for the modifieds. The new customary qualifying format for the modifieds tonight, a non-points event.
Old school Short Track
baby.
Super Series.
We got the vintage cars here. We go old school Short Track Super Series. Draw, redraw. The draw will take place at the drivers' meeting in about 45 minutes or so.
You have your cookie tray ready?
It's ready.
All right.
It's ready. Hopefully nobody's peeking at any numbers. Hoagie wasn't giving away any secrets. We get set to go. Mohawk Valley Vintage Mystiques. Jeff Mitchell, Jay Haviland, bring us to green. We're underway. Oh no!
We lost a wheel here on the front. Look out.
And, oh man!
Into the fence on top of the guardrail. How did that happen?
The 49 of Dan Carl, that is. We got one loose tire flying away off of the 4 of Jeff Mitchell. And we are red once again with our Mohawk Valley Vintage Dirt Modified Series.
Hostiles have captured the hard point.
TACOM, get me a UAV.
Hardpoint locked down.
49 of Dan Carl over there outside of turn number 1 is climbing out of the car.
Hardpoint identified.
And he puts his hands up. He is okay. He was along for the ride there. Really honestly fortunate that that car didn't go over. But Carl is okay out of the car. And track crew now with at least 2 cars they'll have to put on the hook. Looks like the Flying M of Montaigne getting the thumbs up from the track crew that he can move out of the way a little bit there. I believe he'll be able to drive away. The 44 of Joe Rando looks like he might be okay. But we know the 4 of Jeff Mitchell and the 49 of Dan Carl are going to need help from the track crew. So once again, while our track crew does a little bit of work here, those of you at home watching on Flow Racing, we're going to take another commercial break. When we come back, we will conclude the matinee program here on Short Track Super Nationals, night number 2 here at Utica Rome Speedway. You're watching Flow Racing.
Hardpoint locked down.
Scout pulse activated. Archangel prepping fire. Archangel ready for use.
Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint active. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Tossing frag. Your assault pack has been destroyed.
Hardpoint is secure.
Welcome back. Those of you at home watching on Flow Racing, they have the 4 of Jeff Mitchell up on the hook and taking him back to the pit area. The 49 of Dan Carl, they're still working on trying to get him off of the wall there outside of turn number 1. Here's a look at the replay. The 4 of Jeff Mitchell was your pole sitter. And right about here, car just all of a sudden shoots to the right. And the 21 of Harry Baldwin gets into him. And he gets turned sideways, turns Carl around, and collects Joe Rando. And Dan Carl is somewhere
Hardpoint locked down.
going backwards into turn number 1. And he backed into the fence there outside of 1. And so that the obstacle right now for the track crew, trying to carefully try and get that 49 car off the top of the guardrail there outside of turn number 1. Right there where the race cars exit the track.
We're ahead, but stay alert. Marshall's people are no fools. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure. Semtex front. Hardpoint identified.
TACCOM, get me a UAV.
Hardpoint active. Hardpoint locked down. Hostile LPGR drop detected. Enemy grenade.
And it looked like they got the Carl there up, the 49 of Carl, up and off the guardrail outside of one.
Using Archangel.
So that's the good news. Now hopefully they can get him propped in position to get towed back to the pit area, get back on their way. This weekend has been a bit of a challenge for the track crew because of some weird things that have been happening. The car on top of the rail here last night, we made it through the night very nicely with the CRSA sprints, except one driver got up off the embankment over there in the turn and went for a ride down and ended up in the bushes down there in the corner. That took them a little while because not only was he in the bushes, it was rather soggy back there, so they had their work cut out for him. Nick was telling me after the races last night, so they had a little bit of a challenge down there getting that all cleaned up last night. But other than that, it went very, very well. So don't forget Pacey in the pit area. Yeah, criminals rolling to pits. Pacey and his mayhem down there in the pits last night. Wild times, man. Yeah. Pacey's always got stories. Always. Pacey walked into the concession stand last night. The night I thought he looked like he needed a cigarette. He was in rough shape. Yeah. He has those nights sometimes. Some nights he walks in and everything's fine. He's happy. Some days he needs Coors Light. Pacey likes to have at the end of the night. I remember many years ago when I first started in the racing business, I was at a different track, and we were all in the office at the end of the night, and the pit steward didn't come back, and we thought it had been a really smooth night, and we didn't, unbeknownst to us, that the problems that had going on in the pits, and the pit steward finally opened the door and came in, and there was a hush went over the rest of the crowd, and he slammed the door when he came in, and he looked really mad, and he goes, "So you thought you finally got rid of me tonight, did you?" And we go, "No, what happened? We thought we had a great night." Then he went down like 5 or 8 different things that happened back there and said, "You thought you finally got rid of me? Oh, well, it didn't work. I made it back over here." Yep, sometimes you never know what happens on the other side of the wall. Might seem like a calm night out here. It's not always a calm night back there. No. Hey, don't forget to keep up to date with the Miles Over in Sportswear, Short Track Super Series fueled by Sunoco. Even when we're not at the track, on our website, shorttracksuperseries.com, Facebook, Short Track Super Series, Twitter, @ShortTrackSS, Instagram, ShortTrackSS, Snapchat, @short_trackSS, and YouTube, Short Track Super Series, all the kind of stuff that Chris Moore loves to watch, and we'll see you. Here they come for the restart. Final part here before we take a break. 15 laps the distance. We've got 6 of the 8 starters as the Mystiques take the green down the back straightaway. Working through 3 and 4 here. A much cleaner opening lap. And off to the corner, it will be the 78 of Jay Hamlin leading the opening lap. Hamlin out in front. Ray Preston running in position number 2. Bless you.